to Mondays with Melissa. Today I want to talk about a very common statement that people hear. They come in and tell me all the time, my mom can't qualify for Medicaid because she makes too much money. Now, I understand that, but really it isn't true. So yes, there are income limits for Medicaid purposes. Now this is, of course, I'm talking about home care, community Medicaid. Nursing home Medicaid is treated differently. But when somebody's at home and they need care and they want to apply for Medicaid, Medicaid says you can't make more than $1,836 a month in income. And when we're talking about income, we're talking about Social Security, pension, IRA distribution, so the required minimum distribution for the year divided by 12 is added to the monthly income. Any interest and dividends that are earned on money in a trust or some other account, but essentially all of those income amounts cannot exceed $1,836. So if they do, it's very common for people to hear this statement of, your mom doesn't qualify, she makes too much money. Sorry. But the truth of the matter is that we do have a way of protecting that excess income. Truthfully, the need is, it's actually called a spend down. So if you make more than $1,836 a month, you have to spend down your excess income, whatever's over that amount. So how do you spend it down? Either you spend it on your care, and then Medicaid would pay the difference, but then you have to live on the $1,836, which might be a little bit difficult for people. Or you can spend down the excess income by putting it into something called a pooled income trust. Now, pooled income trusts are trusts that are set up by nonprofits that work with people with disabilities, and the pooled income trusts are there for the purpose of collecting excess income. It is an acceptable form of a spend down. So instead of spending the money on your care and having Medicaid pay the rest and live on $1,836, you can take the excess income, put it into the pool trust, Medicaid pays for the care, and you can use the money in the pool trust to pay for your regular household expenses. So essentially, you are keeping access to all of your monthly income. Now, yes, there is a small administrative fee that the nonprofit charges to handle the trust, but at the end of the day, the difference between having to spend it all down and not have access to it versus paying an administrative fee and still having access to the majority of your income, I don't really think that there's a question there. So just keep that in mind, that if the kind of initial knee-jerk reaction is this person doesn't qualify because they make too much money, there are ways to handle that and to protect that excess income and make sure that it's still available to the Medicaid recipient who's living in their home and still has all of their regular monthly expenses to keep up with. And you can reach out to us to talk about a pooled income trust at 631-390-5000. You can check out our website, conalaw.com, and follow me on Legally Melissa on Instagram and Facebook. See you next week.